Hi, my name is Rayna Almazon. I'm an upcoming makeup artist. I love to do makeup, like bridal, special events. Um, Also do like face painting, like for birthday parties. I love to do like Halloween makeup. I'm in school right now. I do graduate in 3 weeks, so that is very exciting. I also just had a job interview at Sephora at the Boca Town Center, so that's exciting. I'm exciting to hear back from them.
Go through the back.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's okay.
And introduce yourself, Nick.
Hello. My name's Nick Canavan. I'm a realtor down here in South Florida. And then we also do a podcast. Did a little bit of political organizing in the beginning of the year, and that's pretty much where I'm at.
It was very slow. I didn't hear it. Did you hear what you said?
No.
Oh, okay. Not sure what this. So my name's Nick. I'm a realtor down here in South Florida, and we do a podcast, and I also did some political organizing in the beginning of the year.
And how long have you been a real estate agent?
I've been doing residential real estate now for like 2.5 years, but I've had my license for about 8.
So why did you choose real estate?
I went to college for like 4 years. I didn't really get what I wanted out of it, so I ended up getting a real estate license. It took like a month down here, so it's just like the easiest thing to try out.
Okay.
But then the looming recession, as Hassan was talking about, I mean, that must be, foremost on your mind. And, how are you going to deal with that? What is your realtor's view on a possible recession?
I mean, it's definitely, there's a lot of possibilities happening right now. One thing in particular that's happening with the interest rates going up to curb inflation. That's really not like the only thing we could do to bring down inflation. For instance, if Congress were to act, put a wage price freeze or put a windfall profit tax in like we've done in the past. There's other ways to curb inflation, especially considering that corporate profits are about 54% of inflation right now. In terms of wage growth, it's like 8%. So it's not really to blame like the worker or to want to crush the labor market through increasing interest rates. Is genuinely speaking, it's a dumb tactic. But the only reason we're doing it is because Congress, the corporate interests that they are beholden to, they're lobbying and putting hundreds of millions of dollars in the political system to ensure that doesn't happen.
Right.
They'd rather crush the labor market.
Wow.
Absolutely. And this is where we need the voices of, the young people like you to change this paradigm. You need to speak up about it and say, we're not happy with this system. We want it changed.
When it comes to, our generation, our generation's the first generation, and American history, after the Great Depression especially, that our generation's the first generation to not be as well off as the prior generations. If you look at every aspect of our society, there's essentially it's like a race to the bottom. And that's the reality. If you look at our generation, we're living at home till we're 30. If you look at our generation, if you look at your generation, you were moved out, had kids in a house that you bought by the time you were 27.
Yeah.
Our generation's behind due to the economic impact that we've seen 2 recessions, 3 recessions, a massive war that went 20 years, and we spent 20 or a few $1 trillion on it. Meanwhile, we can't even give our citizens health care.
Wow. That's amazing.
It's obvious.
Yeah, it's a very twisted system, and it needs to change. And I think that change will only come if more and more people become involved in speaking to politicians. This is what we will not tolerate anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. I mean, that there's tons of anti-labor laws across the country. You know, your generation was able to unionize, get a pension. The reason you were able to do that is through 80 years of labor strikes. You know, people
Sure.
dying, fighting for the rights, showing that economic rights are human rights. And we've lost sight of that.
Right.
And you're right. You know, I
that's
did
very
read
true.
that they said that this generation is never going to be able to afford to have their own home. And, you know, and it's kind of sad because you guys have more potential than we ever have. But you're right, with all of this other stuff not supporting you guys, it's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, exactly. And then when you look at the other statistics around our society, in the last, 50, 60 years, you've had $50 trillion transfer from the bottom 99% of Americans to the top 0.1%. 3 billionaires are worth more than the bottom 50% of the entire nation, 160-something million people.
And it doesn't
That's
help
it.
that a US dollar is losing its value by the second. They keep printing, and, you know, even $1 million is not much money anymore. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's definitely part of it. You know, but when you look at where that money goes when they print it, you know, over COVID, it went to corporate subsidies, keeping them afloat. And then meanwhile, they gave 300 million people $1,200 and said you could do it.
You're right.
You know, that's psychotic
Yes.
and immoral. And that's just where we're at. And that, again, goes back to corporate influence
Right.
in our politics. Corruption is fully
Correct.
legalized, and
Yeah.
that's what happens.
It's going to be a while for us to get out of that. It's going to happen, just not right now.
Wow.
Thank you so much, Nick.
Of course,
and
thank you.
I kind of want to jump back to Brina because we kind of got a little distracted with stuff happening in the studio. So sorry about that if that got picked up on the camera as well. But Brina, are you doing online stuff or are you in the actual storefront?
I go to Academy of Glam for right now. It's in Cooper City. So we do like photo shoots and we do hands-on stuff in school. I actually have a photo shoot tomorrow coming up, so that's exciting. I do graduate in 3 weeks, so I am very excited about that. I actually just left an interview at Sephora at the Boca Town Center, so I'm very
Nice.
excited to hear back from them. Yeah, I'm just always looking for people to practice on if anyone ever wants their makeup done.
I know we were hoping for a demonstration today, but I guess we have no volunteers today. So where are you graduating from?
It's called Academy of Glam in
Academy of
Davie, Cooper City.
Oh, Davie. Okay, yes. So tell us why you choose makeup.
I love makeup because, like, just seeing the beauty, making people feel beautiful, just taking pictures, seeing it. I don't know. I feel like an artist when I'm doing
Right?
it.
It's like the before and after,
Yeah,
and
it's
see
just
how
so-
it brings out people's
Yeah.
confidence. Yeah, makeup does amazing stuff. What would we do without our makeups? I don't know. Definitely. I'm so glad. I hope you get that job.
Me too. Thank
It's
you.
going to be a fun job. Oh, wow. So I mean, we got a little deep here in the politics, which was I was not expecting us to go in that direction.
But I think it's really, really encouraging that, you know, the young people that we have
Are
in the studio
aware.
are aware. They
Are
are
aware.
aware of what has gone wrong in previous generations. And, you know, if they come together as a collective and say, we're not going to tolerate this anymore, remember the power that we have in our hands. We are the voters now. Hopefully things will change.
So, you know,
quicker.
Nick said something that's pretty interesting. He goes, we come from a time when they had unions and you had strikes, and that gave people power. But now that we're kind of all solopreneurs, we're entrepreneurs, we're small business owners, how do we get our voices out there now?
Well,
Besides, you know, the only way to do is I always say from the ground up, meaning we have to go to our local government officials, not a White House. Forget that. That's far. It's the people who depend on our voting right here, right now. This is where we have to start at the grassroots. And what I realize, most people don't even vote. So these people stay in year after year because no one is paying
Nobody's
attention to them.
changing,
Everyone is
yes.
paying attention to the big election every 4 years. Meanwhile, our influence is at the grassroots, is at the bottom. And I think that's where we have to rally people to show up
Absolutely.
and go and demand that the person representing us locally take it to the top and make stuff happen to support small entrepreneurs. This is kind of why we are starting the Meta Lifestyle Society. It's all about getting small entrepreneurs to work together and build as a team, as a group, because solo, I'm sorry, we can't do anything solo. And living in this competition world, that's stuff from the past. We bypassed that paradigm a long time. We're in the space now of cooperation, collaboration.
Don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe to my channel Dr. Karina Felix for more videos.